All right. I want to welcome back to the program Ryan Grimm, Washington bureau chief of The Intercept, and also author of We Got People. It's a
Great book.
great book. Ryan Grimm is joining us now. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Lovely to be here.
And before we get into your story, your sense of what you think might come out of the, if anything, or what the biggest takeaway you have from the verdict coming from the Derek Chauvin trial, just briefly, and then we'll get into your story, which is one that I'm incredibly interested in, frankly.
It's hard to know exactly, and I think we'll know more in the next couple of weeks. But it seems like the police and the kind of general defenders of the police, for the most part, with some exceptions, made the decision fairly early on that they were going to cut this guy loose. That this was just a bridge too far. That it had every single element. It was absolutely horrifying for people to watch. His dead eyes, I think, played a significant role, both probably in the jury's verdict, but also in kind of the world's verdict. The fact that he continued, kneeling on him for such a long time after he was completely unresponsive, and the complete divergence from policy led people to say, you know what, this is not a fight we're going to win, so let's not fight it. And so because they didn't fight it, it becomes harder to know what this says about the debate over policing and police reform going forward, because it's not as if they're going to stop fighting all prosecutions of police misconduct. And as you saw out of Columbus, Ohio, we're gonna get new ones. We're gonna get new ones coming.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, I just think that if Keith Ellison does not get this case, it's a much different, because the relationship between DAs and police is, broadly speaking, is just not one that is going to bring about any type of justice in these situations. And it's not just a question of justice; it's also a question of basically saying hey, we're going to hold you to account. So at one point your behavior has got to change, or you're held to account.
And there aren't many Keith Ellisons.
No.
Yeah.
And if you look in Kentucky, where Mitch McConnell, helped installed his protege Daniel Cameron, you saw a completely different pattern unfold. There no video with Breonna Taylor, and that, as we know, makes a difference in our media age. But you're absolutely right. And just your run-of-the-mill Democratic AG is not going to do it either.
Yeah. I mean, I think, just to your point, police are happy to throw one guy overboard in order to avoid the conversation about more systemic critique. That they were happy to throw him as chum.
And even coming out of the gate, there were a lot of police who weren't making a cynical calculation. You saw a lot of police come forward and be like, this was wrong. This was bad. It wasn't that some of them, I think, stepped back and looked at all the factors and said, this is not a fight that's worth having. But others just viscerally looked at it and said, this is not what policing is.
All right. Well, let's turn our attention to
or should be, I should say.